Hello my dear students. I hope you all are doing great. In today's video, we will discuss comparison of adjectives and prepositions. What is an adjective? A word used with a noun to describe or point out the person, animal, place or thing which the noun names or to tell the number or quantity is called an adjective. We can say that words that describe noun or pronoun are adjectives. For example, Sophia is a clever girl. In this sentence, clever is an adjective. I don't like that girl. That is an adjective. She gave me 6 chocolates. Now 6 here mentions a number, so it is again an adjective. There is little time for preparation. This is again, little is an adjective. When we compare the quality of objects, people or place, we use adjectives of different degrees. We have 3 kind of degrees of adjectives. The first is the positive degree. The positive degree of adjective is the basic uncompared form of an adjective as opposed to either the comparative or superlative. It is also called the base form or the absolute degree. For example, if I say Rakesh is a bold boy, so here bold is an example of positive degree of adjective. The next is comparative degree. Comparative degree of adjectives are used to compare differences between the objects they modify. For example, if I say Rakesh is bolder than Mohan, then it is bolder is a comparative degree of adjective. The next is superlative adjectives. Superlative adjectives are used to describe an object which is at the upper or lower limit of a quality. For example, the tallest, the smallest, the fastest, the highest, they are used in the sentences where a subject is compared to a group of objects. For example, if I say Rakesh is the boldest boy in class, so boldest here is an example of superlative degree. Adjectives make their comparative and superlative forms in different ways depending on the base adjective itself. So before we learn how to form the comparative and superlative, I would like you to know a little bit about syllable. So what is a syllable? A syllable is a part of word that contains a single vowel sound and that is pronounced as a unit. So it is the number of times you twist your tongue to say a word. So in general, if the adjective has one syllable, then the letters ER or EST are added. For example, warm, warmer, warmest. Quick, quicker, quickest. Tall, taller, tallest. If the adjective has one syllable and ends in a silent E, you need to drop the E and you can add ER or EST. For example, late, later, latest, nice, nicer, nicest, large, larger, largest. In adjectives with 2 syllables, it varies. Some add ER or EST and some use the word more or most, more for the comparative and most for the superlative. Okay, and adjectives with 3 syllables or more use more and most are used for comparative and superlative degree. So we have a list of this comparative and superlative degree. You can pause the video and you can have a look on the list. This will give you an idea how do we form the comparative and superlative degrees of adjectives. Some common adjectives have irregular comparative and superlative forms that you just have to learn. So for example, we have bad, worse, worst. Far, we can make it, if it is a distance, it can be farther, farthest. And far, if it is an extent, we can say further and furthest. Good, better, best. Ill, worse, worst. Late, later, latest. Less, lesser, least. Little, if it is an amount, it will be less and least. Many, more, most. Much, more, most. A preposition is an important part of the English language. Preposition is a word that is used to link noun or pronoun with other words in the sentence. Now, link means that they provide relationship between noun and other words in the sentence and thus make the sentence complete. In a sentence, a preposition must always be followed by a noun or pronoun. It can never be followed by a verb. Now, there are some examples. Sam left his jacket in the car. In is here as a preposition. Did you send that letter to your father? To is a preposition. We are cooking for 20 guests tonight. For is here a preposition. Paul ate lunch with his boss. With is here a preposition. The noun or pronoun which is used with a preposition is called its object. Preposition is usually placed before its object, but sometimes it is placed at the end too. For example, where did you come from? This is something we must meditate on. What are you thinking of? In all these sentences, the prepositions are placed at the end of the sentence. Now, there are some kinds of prepositions. The first is prepositions of time. At, on, in, from, to, for, since, ago, before, till, until, by, etc. are the most common prepositions of time. Let us take at first. At always indicates an exact and specific time. For example, I started working at 10 a.m. There are some exceptions also, like at the weekend, at night, at Christmas, at Easter, at the moment. On generally indicates a fixed date or a day. For example, I will see him on Sunday. In generally indicates an indefinite and unspecific time of months, seasons, years, centuries, etc. For example, I will get a holiday in June. From and to. From and to indicates a fixed time span with the beginning and the end. For example, she worked there from 2010 to 2019. So 2010 is the beginning and 2019 is the end. Next is until or till. Until or till indicates a specific or unspecific time, event up to a point. For example, they will not return until Friday. Since is followed by a point of time and is preceded by verb in some perfect tense. For example, Soham has been studying in this school since 2011. For is followed by a period of time. For is used with all the tenses. Soham has been studying in this school for 10 years. From is also used before a noun or a phrase denoting some point of time, but unlike since, it is used with all the tenses, whereas since is used only when it is in some perfect tense. For example, I will come to college from Monday. Next is by. By means not later than. For example, I will complete the assignment by Sunday. A preposition of place is a preposition which is used to refer to a place where something or someone is located. Now in this picture you can see the position of the ball at various places, and we will see which preposition we will use when the ball is positioned at a specific place. So you can see that when it is down the stairs, up the stairs, out of the box, into the box, in the box, on the box, and so on. You can pause my video here and you can observe carefully the various position of the ball and how we use the preposition. Another important preposition of place is underneath. Underneath is often used to say that something is under and covered by something. For example, I am wearing a black sweater underneath this coat. Next is between. Between is used while referring to two persons or things. For example, she divided the chocolate between the two boys. Among refers to more than two persons or things. For example, the children quarreled among themselves. Beside. Beside means by the side of. For example, she sat beside her best friend. And besides means in addition to. For example, besides water, we brought some chocolates. Students, there are some prepositions where you need to pay attention. The first is in or into. In denotes rest or position inside something, while into denotes motion towards the inside of something. For example, the lion is in the den. So the position of the lion is inside the den. She jumped into the swimming pool. Now here into refers to some motion. Next is on and upon. On denotes that something is at rest, while upon is generally denotes motion. For example, she is sitting on a mat. And another example is the cat sprang upon the table. Next is at and in. At is used with the names of small towns and villages, while in is used with the name of big cities, states, and countries. For example, he lives at Sundarnagar in Dehradun. Next is by and with. By is used in the passive voice to denote the agent or the doer. With denotes the instrument with which the action is carried out. So in the example, my room was cleaned by the maid with the broom. So by here is the agent, the maid, and with is used for with broom, that is the instrument. Now let us learn about phrasal prepositions. A phrasal preposition is not a prepositional phrase, but they are a combination of two or more words which function as a preposition. So we have quite a list of phrasal preposition with us, like along with, apart from, because of, by means of, according to, in front of, contrary to, in spite of, on account of, in reference to, in addition to, in regard to, instead of, on top of, out of, with regard to, in lieu of. They are the most common phrasal prepositions. So we can see some examples here. They along with their children went to Atlanta. Along with is a phrasal preposition. According to the new rules, you are not right. According to is a phrasal preposition. In spite of being a good player, he was not selected. In spite of is a phrasal preposition. I am going out of the city. Now out of here is a phrasal preposition. Students, there are certain verbs, nouns, adjectives and participles which are always followed by a particular prepositions. So here are a few examples given. There is a link in the description box also where you can find a detailed list of verbs. Students, there is a practice exercise of degrees of adjectives. You can pause my video and practice the degrees of adjectives. Here we have some preposition practice exercise. You can do this preposition practice exercise, and on the next slide we have the solutions for the degrees of adjectives and the preposition exercise. Here is the solution for the practice exercise. You can check your answers. Students, there is a worksheet given. You need to do these exercise of degrees of the adjectives and prepositions in your English language fair notebook. Students, you also need to do page number 113, 114, 115 and 229 and 230 in your total English. We will discuss these exercises in our next interactive class. Thank you, my dear children. Stay safe, stay healthy and keep practicing.